Now, um, it's unfortunate that we are in disagreement just because of this thing, and I'd like to expand why this disagreement is actually there, and why it is that thoughts are not manifesting this world. This particular being is saying, for instance, to which this video has been made as a response actually, is that if you just focus on the positive things and you are in a dream about your things that you would desire within this life to be manifested, that it will manifest. That just creating a perfect picture within your mind, seeing it in front of you, that it will somehow manifest itself here miraculously, or through some law of things that we cannot see. And I'm now looking for a way to actually place here an example to show you that you have to reconsider your thinking, because what you are actually creating only is thoughts. You are creating positive, nice, maybe caring, loving thoughts, but somehow within that you perceive that you are actually bettering this world, or that you are somehow having an impact within this world which is of any significance. And I will give you now an example of what it is actually what you are doing by giving the example practical situation. For instance, you walk down the street and there's a being kicked and hit by one of our fellow humans. Would it help to have a positive thinking there? You know, just create the perfect thing that you would like there to be. Would it stop the beating and the hitting of that person? Would that picture, your thought, help that being out of the hospital? Would this thought prevent the actual being from being killed? Thus, running away help this being? No, it doesn't. What we know is that people have to take action in such a situation, because it is happening right here and right now. And unless somebody is having the guts to do something about it, things will not change. Then maybe the thought arises, yeah, but if those beings who are actually abusing the other person would have this positive thinking, they wouldn't have done that in the first place. And that is what we are actually standing for and wanting to create. It may be true that those beings wouldn't have done that, but actually consider that the positive thinking and the running away from abuse does not stop abuse. The abuse is here, and the abuse is here for several reasons, which we need to direct as mankind, and which we need to direct here on an individual level. And so in trying to transform those beings into positive thinkers, so they do not allow any more abusive situations, you have learned and you have taught yourself to become positive because you have experienced the negative. If you wouldn't have experienced any emotional thing within your life which has influenced you or is still influencing you today, you wouldn't even consider to change your thinking in positive thinking. And thus we can actually conclude then that the positive thinking there is just to camouflage the things that you did not like in your life. And through that you are actually camouflaging and trying to create a thing to hold on to keep things fun for yourself, so that you can somehow walk in some kind of comfort within this life. Though it is not stopping abuse and it is not helping anybody, it is only you coping with your own situation. And what we as Destiny members represent and show you is the actual abuse that is here, the actual things that we need to take care of through an understanding of walking within the shoes of another, which is not a positive or a negative thing. It's just common sense if you would like to understand how to stop abuse in its entirety. When we as human beings would not consider standing in each other's shoes, then there will always be abuse, as competition is what what this world is made of, through our competition within the principle of survival, that we somehow must come out as a winner. And if we do not consider our neighbors or our fellow human beings, then this world will only be in a state of potential abuse and manifested abuse. One thing that I also would like to address is this way of thinking, the positive thinking. Is the fact that people are thinking that who they are actually their thoughts. Well, I'd like you to consider the following. If you are really your thoughts, then why must you first think it and walk accordingly? If you are really your thoughts, then why are thoughts really there if you are in essence your thoughts? If you are your thoughts, you wouldn't have to think because it's you. But instead, we now walk through picturing something and try to achieve that, walk to that picture, walk to that film, and trying to manifest that film, bring it here into existence. And thus, this should make you aware that your thoughts are not really you. Even though you can relate to one of your thoughts, if you have the guts to see, you have a lot of thoughts that you have there to which you do not want to relate to, but they are there. And dare to see that you have them. Dare to see that you have these thoughts, because only if you dare to see that you are having these thoughts, you can actually help yourself in stopping these thoughts. Because if you are not self-honest about it, and you are ignoring that which you now profess to be the truth, you should understand that if it's really true that your thoughts have the power, and you would see that this world is very fucked up, then who's the one who is responsible? This is just a common sense question for you to consider, to give you an opportunity to actually see beyond your thoughts and actually see that the thoughts are merely here because we within ourselves have in a conflict. We haven't dealt with a situation, something within our past of an energetical experience, may it be in feeling or an emotion, which you want to relive or actually want to avoid. But running away doesn't solve the situation. And if you would acknowledge and you would see that because of, for instance, an emotional thing that happened within your past, and by creating positive thoughts around it, so you wouldn't have to think about the emotional charge that was really there and which you try to camouflage, that things are not being dealt with, but it is actually running away from it, not having to face it, not having to deal with it. And that's why you need positive thinking, because you're still running away. You are not coping with the situation, in fact. And that's why we as Destiny members have been using self-corrective statements and self-forgiveness to release ourselves from this emotional or feelings, these energetical experiences, so that we can actually here direct the things that are here to be directed, that we can actually take on the things that needs to be taken care of, and not running away anymore, because we have closed our eyes too often. And that is why this world is what it is right now. So your thoughts won't help you in the sense of that it will manifest a better world. No. Only you through action will change this world. And therefore you have to take care of yourself first right now. If you are a positive thinker, forgive yourself for thinking that you need these positive things so that you can deal with whatever it is that you are actually camouflaging. Because makeup only is actually serving its purpose when it's on, and at the end of the day you will you will clean your face of all the makeup that you've put on your face that day, and tomorrow with the new day you will make up yourself again until it wears off again, and you'll have to renew it and renew it. But it doesn't change, in fact, that what is there is just paint. It's not changing the layers underneath it. Yeah, I've not anything to talk about more here about this topic, so I leave it as this. Thank you.